I don't want to stop her from doing a job. Right now.
Have you found Angelina's pursuer yet?
No, not yet. Talk to Sergeant Kinney. She's leading the search.
Good.
You really believe Angelina murdered Fuller?
It hasn't got much to do with believe. We walked in on her standing over the victim, covered in blood with the murder weapon in her hand.
Why were you there anyway?
You mean in the middle of the night? Well, we got a tip-off.
One? And that's not suspicious?
Yes. That's the reason why I want to find your mysterious stranger.
Do you think he made the tip-off?
Possibly. It was an anonymous caller who said something about a break-in at Fuller's. If the stranger had really been following Miss Morgan, he might have seen her entering the photo store and then notified us.
Or he set a trap for her.
Yeah, well, we can only speculate until we found the witness.
I'm convinced that Britt set up a trap for Angelina.
If you say so.
What's wrong with that theory?
The same that's wrong with the theory that Fuller was attacked by vampires. It's not very believable. What reasons did the English guy have to murder Fuller and frame Angelina with it?
That's exactly what I'm gonna find out.
If you say so.
Fuller had a skeleton in his closet, did you know that?
I wouldn't be surprised. You got any details?
I think he blackmailed people.
Really? That's a serious allegation.
I've got no evidence, but I'm gonna get some.
Don't do anything foolish. You'd be better off not getting in the way of my investigations.
I won't. I'll search in the right places. What would you say if I showed you a blackmail letter from Fuller?
I would say that despite my warnings, you haven't kept your nose out of this business.
And if I found the letter in a public trash can?
Then I'd ask you if you had any evidence that the letter's from Fuller. A letter in a trash can be from anyone. And the fact that you, of all people, found it doesn't really speak for its authenticity.
Alright then. So I haven't found a blackmail letter. I've got to get into this secret room. There'll be evidence that Fuller blackmailed Mrs. Biber in there. Do you know that my mother almost died yesterday?
No. I didn't know that. What happened?
She tripped and cracked her head open.
Oh. I'm really sorry about that. Tell her from me to get well soon.
Don't you find it even a bit strange that this Brit appears out of nowhere and the next day we got a corpse and a serious injury?
Are you suggesting that her accident wasn't an accident?
I don't know.
I don't think we should start hunting around for possible crimes, Darren. We've got a very real crime to solve here.
Have you found the guy from the photo fit?
No, not yet. But the picture's been posted up. It won't take too long. If he's still in town, that is.
If he is the killer, then he's gonna get out of town right now at the latest.
He's a witness at best.
How is Angelina?
Well, she's in shock, anxious.
Understandable. She's a student from England. She comes over here and then she's accused of murder of a man she barely knows.
The circumstances are quite clear.
And nevertheless, wrong. It was someone else.
We will be following up on all lines of investigation. And until we find something new, your girlfriend has a problem.
Did you know, Fuller? He was a pig.
And so he deserved to be murdered?
So why should Angelina stab him a dozen times?
Why would anyone else?
Looks like a passion thing. Angelina hardly knew him.
Perhaps she was going crazy.
An English literature student in a bloody frenzy.
It's all happened before. And who says she didn't know Fuller? Maybe she had a damn good motive.
Shouldn't you be absolutely sure that someone has a damn good motive before you charge them for murder?
Not so with such a frenzied crime. People who do that stuff don't think too much about it first. Maybe she didn't have any motive at all. Maybe she just snapped.
Has Fuller's place been thoroughly searched?
As thoroughly as was necessary.
Meaning what?
We have a homicide and homicide suspect who was practically caught in the act. We have therefore photographed the crime scene and the CSI squad has documented everything.
Did you search the basement?
Only cursorily.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, has Fuller's body already been autopsied?
No, not yet. We're waiting for the pathologist from Portland. They're due around midday.
Until then?
We wait.
Great. Where's Fuller's body now?
In the hospital. They have a morgue there.
That's the way to the cells. Huh. I've already spent a couple of nights in cells like that after protests. In my circles, that was something like a badge of honor. I just thought it was crap. Excuse me, Dr. Newhouse.
Hello, yes?
What's that ID you're wearing there?
It's from the hospital.
Don't they know you're a doctor there? They can't have that many staff.
I said the same thing to the admin people. But Dick, the security guard, insists on it. He's very meticulous. And apparently can't recognize faces.
Can you tell me something about the security guy at the hospital? I find him kind of interesting.
He used to be a police officer. He was, There were a few problems. So, when he couldn't be a police officer anymore, he became a security guard. Where do you know him from?
He was in the diner yesterday.
Oh, right. But strange as it may seem, I believe he lives for his job.
He lives for that? Being a security guy.
He takes his job very seriously. Sometimes too seriously.
Well, that's it for now, I guess.
If you've got any more things you want to ask, just come and find me.
Psst, Mrs. Biber.
Yes, what can I get you?
Hey, can I get a pot of coffee?
On its way.
A girl I know is being suspected of having killed Fuller.
I'm sorry about that.
If she was lured into a trap, she has no motive. She also wasn't being blackmailed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Was Fuller blackmailing anyone else? Did anyone else have a motive apart from you?
Oh, you got nerve. I wasn't being blackmailed. Listen, I'm sorry about what happened to your friend. But if she's not guilty, then she won't be held for long now, will she? And I don't know anything about blackmail.
Huh. So you don't want to help me get an innocent girl out of jail?
I can't.
Mrs. Biber? So, are 15 Ben Franklins enough of a motive for murder?
What?
The $1,500 you had to pay Fuller.
Get out of here. You just can't. You don't.
Have any evidence? Could be I do. It's about time the truth got shook out.
I didn't murder Fuller.
Where were you when it happened?
So now you're a cop.
Would you prefer it if I go to the cops on this?
I was at home.
Alone?
With my husband.
I believe you. That shiner you have there says it all. My SLR camera. Fitted with a flash, too. I never leave home without it. A cup of coffee. You can have it filled again as often as you like. But the coffee here is so strong that you probably wouldn't survive drinking more than 2 of them. No. The laxative has such a strong smell, you'd notice it. I can't think of anything I should talk to him about. A simple chain of lights. A power cable with lots of bulb sockets. One's missing. The cops could have at least brought the sign back in with them. Fuller's mother will have to take her mutt for a walk on her own now. I don't want to talk to him at the moment. I'd like to buy these wire cutters.
$1.50. Because it's you.
All right, I think I can afford that. I prefer my Star Wars figures. Is Lucas ever gonna make the fourth part? They look like bazookas. Hopefully they're just replicas.
I hope not.
I guess those are Eddie's badges from his time in the army.
You got that right, boy.
I bet that's an original radio set from the Second World War. It definitely doesn't look much newer. A good idea, but how do I get the laxative into the bottle without damaging the cap? No, the laxative has such a strong smell, you'd notice it. I reckon that the local tourist board is missing something of a hook for this place. I mean, what is there here that's a bit special? There must be dozens of places like this one along the coast. The Maine state flag always looks more like a beer company logo to me. At least they've got an elk and a tree in there. That's nice. So what have we got here? New Hampshire, Canada, something or other I don't recognize. New Brunswick or Quebec, perhaps. And of course, the obligatory stars and stripes in every imaginable shape and size. No thanks. I don't have a boat. And if I did, I'd be sailing under the skull and crossbones. Or maybe a Popeye flag. Something a little cooler than these. I can't think of anything I could talk to Rosie about. The window is open, presumably to let in some fresh air. Or maybe it just doesn't close properly. Who knows? That's Fuller's office window. Oh well. Now Fuller's mother's got less washing to hang up. I'll take the bar with me. Perhaps I can use it a second time. I certainly don't need a bucket, nor a load of rusty water. A timeless, plain and simple 80-watt bulb on a cable. A classic. I'm not gonna touch any lit light bulb. That's gotta be hot. I don't know the numbers, and I don't even know how many digits the code has. Guessing is not gonna work. Maybe Fuller's noted the numbers down somewhere. Now if I could just get a look at his stuff in the morgue. If it really is a kind of scale, then it could measure Fuller's weight while he tapped in the secret number into this pad, and the door would only open when the two matched. Pretty well thought through for sure. For me, there's the problem that I have no idea how heavy Fuller is. I've got to find that out if I want to make progress here. If it really is a kind of scale, then it could measure Fuller's weight while he tapped in the pretty well thought through. I've got to find that out if I want to make... If it really is a kind of scale, pretty well thought, I've got to find that out. I can't wind the clock up, but I can push this button. Nothing stands out. Perhaps this little angular hole on the clock face, is that how you wind it up? If Fuller had bought one of those trendy angular pens with 4 different colors in it, it might actually work. I've used this door for the last time. If I want to get into the shop, I can go through the basement. The doc's got his hospital ID with him. Perhaps I can somehow get my hands on it. Mrs. Biba's being blackmailed by Fuller. That much is obvious. Sooner or later, I'll be able to prove it.
Hot.
Oh man, sorry. It was an accident. Sorry.
It's all right. Your thoughts are elsewhere.
Oh, give it here, Dr. Newhouse. I'll rinse out the stain.
Thanks.
No harm meant.
No damage. I just gotta keep it cool.
Now that's what I call a serious coffee stain. And the ID badge is still pinned to the lab coat. So now I've got some ID. Excellent. The security guy at the morgue surely won't inspect it that closely. I don't want to bother her while she's working. A coin-op telephone. It says out of order. If I was needing some small change, then I might take a closer look at it. But not right now.
Yes.
Hello.
Are you delivering something?
Yes.
Delivery note. Whatever. The package?
I've got it here.
Okay.
Can I go in now? I've got a pass as well.
All right then. You could go in.
Thousands of people die every year from infections they pick up in hospitals. Makes me wonder if hygiene hysteria is the better way to go. The cleaning agents they use aren't so innocuous themselves, and the viruses are getting more and more resilient. Well, it's all really clean here, but ultimately a dead person makes less mess than a living one. Yeah, well, at least if you don't cut them open. Either they assume that Biddeford's population will reach 50,000, or the number of cold drawers is quite over the top. Half the town would have to have a collective heart attack. Huh. 6 clipboards in total. Let's see. There are lists of the personal belongings each dead person had on them, but there are no names. There's 394 written on the first one. I guess the numbers on the lists here relate to the numbers on the boxes. That means if I can work out which of these lists belong to Fuller, then I know which box his stuff is in. Number 394. Hairbrush, lipstick, car keys, mirror. That's hardly gonna be the contents of Fuller's pockets. Number 412. Wallet, keys, Polaroid photo. That could be Fuller. Oh, wait a minute. A wedding ring. Fuller was never married, so it's not 412. Number 433. Credit cards, earrings, anklet. No, not Fuller's. Number 448. Wallet, driver's license, credit card, keys, bills. I wouldn't rule that out as being Fuller's, but I'm not certain. Number 442. Driver's license, photos, small change, a pacifier, baby powder. Definitely not Fuller. Number 399. Knife, torch, ski mask, skeleton keys, small change, plastic bag. Unless Fuller was about to set off on a secret thieving trip when he was murdered, then that's not his. Number 448. That's the only box left. It's gotta be it. Boxes. They appear to be airtight. There's a number stuck to every box. I think the personal effects of the dead people are stored in them. Fuller's box is number 448. But where is it? That's Fuller's box. Fuller's keys. Those could be useful. Hey, and here's his wallet. Driver's license, a few dollars, credit card, a few bills. But no secret numbers or anything like that. I think I'll take the keys. The wallet and the rest of that stuff is of no use to me. There's nothing more of interest in it. Not a pretty sight. Fuller's body's peppered with stab wounds. They've undressed him. I won't find any clues here. I'd rather not do that. Whoever it was, he must have been out of his mind. I'd rather not do that. Whoever it was, he must have been out of his mind. A metal bier. The edges are bent upwards so no blood drips on the floor. It's got wheels and seems a bit rickety. It's probably taken to another room for the actual autopsy. There's a bier, just like the one out in the hall. I think it's for transporting the corpses. The upper part can be removed. I should first divert the security guy's attention. All the racket's gonna be quite suspicious. I'd rather not do that. Whoever it was, he must have been out of his mind. I should first divert the security guy's attention. All the racket's gonna be quite suspicious. A syringe. Quite a size. I guess any remaining fluids are sucked up with that. I certainly wouldn't want my flu shot injected with it. I've drawn a little of the laxative into the syringe. Nice. That's the laxative in the soda bottle. Hey boss, you want a soda?
What do you want for it?
Nothing.
You just gonna give me a soda as a friendly gesture?
Exactly.
That's very... nice. Perhaps you could do me another favor. Can you keep watch here for a minute? I'll be right back. Real quick.
I thought you couldn't leave your post.
It's an emergency. I'll be back in a minute. Wait here.
Okay, no problem. What was that about? Strange. Oh well, he's gone. Alright, I can work out Fuller's and the buyer's weight together. That way... £348. The only question is, how much of that is buyer and how much is Fuller? Let's see. The buyer weighs about 53 pounds. 348 for Fuller with the buyer, minus 53 for the buyer makes 295 pounds. That's Fuller's weight, and that's what I gotta put on the scales. Perhaps a bit more. He wasn't wearing any clothes and had lost a lot of blood after all. I weigh nearly 198 pounds with clothes on, so I just need around another 99 pounds on the scale with me. I'm sure I can find something in the basement.
Don't move!
What the? Look, I didn't want to...
What are you doing? Trying to poison me, huh? That ain't gonna work on me.
Me? Poison you? What makes you think that...
No one has ever offered me a drink. And someone like you, of all people, bring me a soda.
Yeah, well, I thought you were thirsty.
Yeah, sure, junkie. You want to steal medication, huh? Or equipment to make some money, don't you?
That's crazy. I was...
The soda's poison, right? It's in the lab right now. And if it turns out you trying to poison me...
Yeah, well, poisoned...
You going to jail for this. You terrorist.
And you were missing your old boss and wanted to say goodbye to him.
Something like that.
Don't give me that crap. Breaking and entering, larceny, we can lock you up for that.
Breaking and entering and larceny. According to the security guy, I'm a seriously dangerous terrorist.
He caught you snooping around, and that's bad enough. I understand that you want to help your girlfriend, but this kind of thing doesn't really help. When this gets out, and Dick's gonna make sure that everyone in town knows about his heroic act by tomorrow morning, then it's gonna look like you wanted to get rid of evidence, or something like that.
Can I go now?
Darren, I'm not against you, but keep your nose out of this. If we catch you snooping around again, you're gonna end up in the can, capiche?
Yeah, capiche.
Now get out of here. I've got to reassure Dick and make it clear to him the boy's harmless.
And I'm gonna continue where I left off, at Fuller's secret door. How's the investigation going with our photo fit friend?
Nothing, not a thing. Our people have asked all over town. A few people vaguely think they may have seen somebody, but he's not been staying in any of the hotels, and nobody's seen him since yesterday evening.
Don't you find that suspicious?
Maybe he's a tourist. His wife could have stayed in the RV with the kids while he went out to get the evening meal. And then they all left yesterday evening.
Are you trying to wind me up? The guy had been asking Fuller about me and Angelina. He was in the diner, and in the hotel.
Have you perhaps considered that he found your girlfriend attractive? Maybe he'd seen her coming out of Fuller's photo studio and then asked him where she lived. Then, when he saw you coming out of her hotel room, he cleared off because he didn't want any trouble.
Yeah, sure. And then Fuller committed suicide. A very lovely theme.